Welcome students, myself Gazala Chawolkar. Today we are going to learn an interesting topic, that is chapter number 20, our emotional world. Students, generally an emotion is a subjective state of human being that is often described as our feelings. It is a complex state of feelings that results in physical and psychological changes that influences our thoughts and behavior. So students, let us discuss our learning objectives for today's video. So today we are going to study emotions. Students, emotions are strong, positive, negative or temporary feelings that influence our thinking and behavior. We are also going to study how to cope with our emotions, and then anger management, and how to be aware of our flaws as well as our talents, and then how important it is to correct the flaws in our nature. So students, imagine a life without happiness, fear, sadness, surprise, disgust. So what we will experience in our life? See students, all of these are emotions. Our lives as humans will be pointless with no motivation or inspiration to do great things. We would live in a dull world where nothing had meaning. Ambition will be not captured or understood, and we would operate like robots. So students, think emotions as colors. That is, life without emotions would be like a world without colors. So students, now let us understand what are emotions. Generally, the word emotions is derived from the Latin word emovere, which means to stir up or agitate. Now, what does agitate students here means? That is to move into violent action, that is sometime going crazy or uncontrollable, or excite. So the word emovere means to stir up or agitate or excite. It is also a mental thinking or feeling of a person at a particular instant of time, knowingly or unknowingly. An emotion is a feeling such as happiness, love, fear, anger, or hatred, which can be caused by the situation that you are in or the people you are with. It is a complex psychological and biological responses consisting of subjective feelings, physiological reactions, and expressive behaviors. So students, try this out. This is there in your textbook page number 103. Now in this activity here we have 5 images given. So each of the images tells us different feelings. So let us discuss each of them. The first one, that is this one, is about your own behavior from the time you wake up in the morning till you go to bed. So from the time we get up in the morning until we go to bed in the night, we may have different kinds of feelings throughout the day. For example, we could be happy, or we could be sad, or sometimes angry or frustrated, sometimes motivated or disappointed. The next picture is about the pictures of natural disaster in the newspaper. So by seeing the pictures of natural disaster, the first thing comes to our mind is the loss of life and property. So we become very sad. Next one is news about a cricket match in the newspaper. See, for example, here is a news article of Sachin Tendulkar about his retirement from the Test cricket. So, hearing this news, most of the cricket lovers will become very sad because he was one of the best players in the cricket, Test cricket. Next one is anger at your classmates. Now, students, anger is a powerful feeling. It's a normal and healthy emotions that happens when you are frustrated, hurt, annoyed, or disappointed. So, there are many examples where we really get angry on our classmates. So, one of the example is like when if he or she is very talkative and is unattentive in your class and not letting you to be focused on what the teacher is teaching, so you get angry on your classmate. Next one is the tricks that jokers play in a circus. So, students, by seeing at the joker, we start laughing because of his facial expression. The tricks he performs are so funny, and the way he performs it makes us laugh. Humans feel various emotions. Emotions rule so much on our lives. Even writers and poets seem incapable of describing the full range and experience of human emotions. Emotions are at once, but yet there are various ways through which we communicate the feelings around us. We can't exist with them, but rarely stop to consider how many there actually are. It is a question that has challenged scientists and philosophers for generations and continues to do so today. Human nature has many different aspects. Sometimes a person gets very angry, at other times he is ready to forget and forgive easily. At times he is jealous, and at times he is loving. Sometimes he acts selfishly, but sometimes he is willing to make a sacrifice for others and comes forward to help. Anger, joy, sorrow, jealousy, disappointment, fear, anxiety, awe, awkwardness, boredom, calmness, craving, disgust, excitement, fear, horror, interest, sadness, satisfaction, sympathy, etc. are all emotions. So, students, let us understand coping with our emotions. Just as man is able to think, he is also emotional. We should be able to strike a balance between our thoughts and emotions. When someone hurts us, we feel sad. This is natural. However, we should know how bad to feel about it. If someone does something wrong, we get angry. However, we must not lose our temper. It is natural to desire something, but we must not be greedy for it. If we think properly, we can control our emotions. For example, coping with emotions. See whether you are feeling angry, sad, frustrated, lonely, or anxious. It is important to have some healthy ways to cope with these painful emotions. Learning to cope with painful emotions, that is, some emotions are easier to deal with while others are difficult. When things feel really difficult, it's sometimes hard to cope. Learning to cope with these emotions in a positive way can help you to live a healthier and happier life. For example, talking can help. Express your feelings and thoughts by talking with someone you trust, that is, with friends, families, counselor, etc. Or else, find creative ways to express your emotions. When you can't find the words, try to express your feelings by drawing or by painting or coloring or writing a story, playing instrument, etc. So these were few ways to express your emotions in a positive way. Now students, let us understand emotional adjustment. Now emotional adjustment is an important task because adjustment during emotions lead to a normal behavior, whereas maladjustment leads to a abnormal behavior. Emotions, as we know, it is described as the prime movers of behavior. There are many instances where even highly intelligent people fail to manage their emotions, and some average intelligent persons manage their emotions effectively and harmoniously. During emotions, the individuals will have a lot of energy released to meet the challenges and help him to perform very tough jobs, which he cannot do in normal conditions. Emotions stimulate the person and make him to overcome this. But many times emotions may be a great hurdle for adjustments. Human being is considered as a rational being, but in the grip of emotions, people behave like immature. Some people may break down completely or cannot take proper decisions, or sometimes people even collapse. Emotions may hamper the studies of students and occupations of people. In some people, emotions may lead to crimes because people lose reasoning power and their ability to control behavior is hampered. Hence, emotional control and management is very essential for an adjust life. Now, students, let us see personality and emotions. So, personality is the characteristics, patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that make a person unique. It is believed that personality arises from within the individual and remains fairly consistent throughout life. Personality features are known to be associated in many ways with individual differences in emotional life, such as negative effect or positive effect. Emotions can play an important role in how we think and behave. The emotions we feel each day can compel us to take action and influence the decisions we make about our lives, both large and small. For example, when we learn to cope with our emotions, our personality becomes balanced and our ability to understand others increases, and we can overcome adverse conditions. Thus, we become free from faults such as blaming others unnecessarily, calling them names, and not being able to tolerate their success. We also become happy and our ability to relate to others improves. We learn not to be stubborn. Anger is one of the seven universal emotions which arises when we are blocked from pursuing a goal or treated unfairly. At its most extreme, anger can be one of the most dangerous emotions because of its potential connection to violence, and therefore is a common emotion to seek help in dealing with. Anger management is a way to lessen the effects that anger has on you. Anger is a normal reaction and feelings, so you can't make it go away, but you can learn to manage it better. Anger is a powerful feeling. It's a normal and healthy emotions that happens when you are frustrated, hurt, annoyed, or disappointed. It could be the result of something that happens to you, something someone said or did, or something you remembered. Anger can help or hurt you depending upon how you react to it. If you can react without hurting someone else, it can be good. It's useful when we need to protect ourselves, or it can motivate you to change things. For example, all of us get angry about something at some point of time. We get angry if something does not happen according to our wishes, or if we are insulted. Similarly, we also get angry if we see something being ill treated. If we get angry very often or we cannot control our anger, it can have adverse effects on our body and mind. We become short-tempered and stubborn. Our attitude of cooperation and understanding decreases, and we hurt others. We face consequences such as headaches, loss of sleep, dullness, etc. Awareness of our own flaws. Now, students, flaws here means imperfection or weakness or a mistake, that is especially one that happens while something is being planned or made. For example, children are often heard to say, "My handwriting is beautiful," "I am good at maths," "I like science," or "I like poetry." This means that people's likes and dislikes and capabilities can be different. Just as we gradually understand what we can do, we must also understand what we are not able to do. We may be good at some subject like art or sport and just as bad as another. We must know our flaws as well as our talents so that we can improve upon them. Just because we are unable to do something, it does not mean that we stop trying to excel at what we can do. So, students, when you learn to accept your flaws, you learn how to fight your own battles and win, and you learn how to shield yourself from unnecessary wars. When you learn to accept your flaws, you won't ever live questioning if you are good enough for others, as long as you feel good enough for yourself. We can change. Now, no person is entirely good or entirely bad. So, students, we must always think about the good qualities or virtues in our friends first. We must help each other to get rid of our flaws. If we speak about our flaws as openly as we speak about our talents, it will be to our advantage. Once we know the flaws in our nature, we must try to correct them ourselves. For example, Neha talks the most in her group. Her friends began to avoid her since they never got a chance to speak. Neha realized this. Then she began to watch out how much she spoke. She told her friends herself, "Stop me if I talk too much." Gradually, Neha began to listen to others and brought about a change in her own behavior. Aspects of our nature that bother us and others can be changed. However, we ourselves must try hard to change them. Otherwise, these aspects may take the shape of flaws in our personality. So students, let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. Today we learned about emotions. So emotion is a feeling such as happiness, love, fear, anger or hatred, which can be caused by the situation that you are in or the people you are with. We also studied that emotions are like colors. That is, life without the emotions would be like a world without colors. Then we studied that emotion must be expressed. There must be a balance between our thoughts and emotions. That is, we learn to cope with our emotions. Emotional control and management is very essential for a just life. Then we also studied about anger. That is, anger is a powerful feeling. It's a normal and healthy emotions that happens when you are frustrated, hurt, annoyed or disappointed. It could be the result of something that happens to you, something someone said or did, or something you remember. So anger must be controlled, otherwise it can have an adverse effects on your mind as well as on your body. Next, we also studied about the awareness of our own flaws. That is, when you learn to accept your flaws, you learn how to fight your own battles and win, and you learn how to shield yourself from unnecessary wars. When you learn to accept your flaws, you won't ever live questioning if you are good enough for others as long as you feel good enough for yourself. So, we must be aware of our flaws as well as our talents. Last one, that is, we can change. That is, no person is entirely good or entirely bad. We must always think about good qualities or virtues in our friends first. We must help each other to get rid of our flaws. If we speak about our flaws as openly as we speak about our talents, it will be a great advantage. So students, here there is a homework for you. You can write it down in your notebook also. Complete the following table and figure out your own personality. Thank you students for listening and watching my video. I hope that you like my video. Thank you very much.